It's an invisible challenge that disrupts the very foundation of our health: restful sleep. Many people wake feeling unrefreshed, experiencing persistent daytime fatigue, or hearing concerns from their partners about loud snoring. But what if these common issues signal a more significant yet frequently undiagnosed medical condition? We're talking about sleep apnea, a condition estimated to affect over 1 billion people worldwide, with many remaining unaware of its profound impact. Imagine your sleep being punctuated by repeated involuntary pauses in breathing, each one subtly starving your body of vital oxygen. This isn't just about snoring, it's a systemic stressor on your heart, brain, and overall vitality. Understanding this often overlooked factor, its causes, and its implications is crucial for reclaiming your health. So, what precisely is sleep apnea? At its core, it's defined by these recurring episodes where breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep. The most prevalent form is obstructive sleep apnea, OSA, where the airway collapses, often due to soft tissues in the throat, particularly the tongue, falling backward and blocking the path for air. While there's also central sleep apnea, which involves a different mechanism originating in brain signaling, our focus today is on OSA, as it accounts for the vast majority of cases. One fascinating, often overlooked contributor to OSA is rooted in our evolutionary past, the subtle but significant changes in human jaw structure. Compared to our ancestors, modern humans tend to have smaller lower jaws. Why? The prevailing theory suggests that as our diet shifted from raw, fibrous foods requiring extensive chewing to softer, processed, and often pureed foods, the evolutionary pressure for a robust, spacious jaw diminished. This reduction in jaw size means there's simply less room in the oral cavity, making it more challenging for the tongue to maintain its position, especially when relaxed during sleep. When the tongue, which is a muscular organ, rests against a smaller lower jaw, it can more easily drift backward as muscles relax, obstructing the airway. This momentary blockage causes oxygen levels in your blood to drop, prompting your brain to briefly rouse you from sleep, just enough to gasp for air, often without conscious awareness. These frequent interruptions, though brief, prevent you from achieving deep, restorative sleep cycles. Here's where this becomes clinically relevant. While your brain often triggers these wake-up gasps over time, or with severe apnea, this protective reflex can weaken. We often see patients whose oxygen saturation levels, SpO2, during sleep dip into the 70s or 80s, far below the normal range of 90 to 92%, yet they report no awareness of these profound hypoxic episodes. This chronic oxygen deprivation, even if brief, puts a tremendous strain on your body. Think of it this way: your body is constantly in a low-grade state of emergency, struggling to get enough air. I recall a good friend, a dedicated cardiologist, whose wife insisted he had severe sleep apnea because of his disruptive snoring. He dismissed it, attributing his constant fatigue to a demanding schedule. When he finally underwent a sleep study, the findings were alarming. The specialist remarked that it was remarkable he could function, let alone practice medicine, given the severity of his condition. What he perceived as normal exhaustion from a busy life was, in fact, the cumulative toll of years of profound sleep deprivation and oxygen debt. Now, with appropriate management, his energy and cognitive function have significantly improved, much to his own surprise and his wife's relief. This ongoing physiological stress has direct implications for your cardiovascular health. Many years ago, when we had access to a highly sensitive blood test for early heart muscle stress called troponin I, far more sensitive than the standard troponin T used in emergency rooms for heart attack diagnosis, we started noticing something intriguing. Patients with otherwise healthy coronary arteries, confirmed by stress tests and angiograms, would present with low-grade but persistent elevations in troponin I. This indicated a subtle, continuous injury to the heart muscle. After extensive investigation, we discovered that a significant number of these patients were suffering from undiagnosed sleep apnea. Once their sleep apnea was identified and managed, these troponin I levels would often normalize. This suggested that for years their hearts were enduring what amounted to mini heart attacks every night, without any conscious awareness or traditional symptoms. Another valuable marker, NT-proBNP, often referred to as the heart-happy hormone in clinical settings, provides insights into how hard your heart is working. We use it to detect issues like valve leaks or even track cardiovascular fitness. What's often overlooked is its connection to sleep apnea. We observe patients with mildly elevated NT-proBNP levels, which might typically be attributed to aging or minor cardiac variations. However, when these individuals were diagnosed with and treated for sleep apnea, their NT-proBNP levels frequently returned to normal. These findings underscore a critical point. Sleep apnea isn't merely a nuisance condition characterized by snoring. It's a serious, silent killer that can significantly impact your heart and brain health over time. That's why understanding and addressing it is so vital. While not everyone develops sleep apnea, several factors contribute to its prevalence beyond jaw structure. One of the most impactful, which we've observed consistently in our clinics for decades, is weight. When patients achieve significant weight loss, a common, often unprompted comment from their partners is, "You don't snore anymore." This isn't just anecdotal, it's due to the reduction of fat deposits in the mouth and neck area. Think of it as a fat tongue or fat neck. Excess adipose tissue in these regions can physically narrow the airway and make the tongue larger and more prone to collapse during sleep. Reducing this fat significantly opens the airway, often leading to a remarkable improvement or even resolution of sleep apnea symptoms. Beyond weight, other lifestyle factors play a crucial role. Alcohol, for instance, is a notorious contributor because it profoundly relaxes the muscles in the throat, increasing the likelihood of airway collapse. Similarly, sedatives or certain medications can have a similar relaxing effect. A diet high in processed foods and inflammatory agents can also exacerbate the issue by promoting inflammation and fluid retention in the soft tissues of the throat. Now, this becomes particularly important. Even sleeping position matters. Many people who sleep on their backs are more susceptible to their tongue rolling backward and obstructing the airway. Shifting to side sleeping, particularly the left side, which also offers benefits for digestion and reducing acid reflux, another potential contributor to airway irritation, can be remarkably effective. Specialized pillows are even available to encourage and maintain this side sleeping position. Other physical factors like enlarged tonsils or adenoids, especially in younger individuals, can also create structural blockages. Interestingly, women tend to experience a rise in sleep apnea after menopause. While weight gain often accompanies this phase, there's also research suggesting that declining estrogen levels may impact muscle tone in the head and neck, further increasing susceptibility. The red flags signaling potential sleep apnea are often more apparent to those around you than to yourself. Beyond the characteristic loud snoring, listen for gasping or choking sounds during sleep. Morning headaches are a classic indicator, as is waking with an extremely dry mouth, which suggests you've been mouth breathing rather than nasal breathing overnight. Persistent daytime fatigue, poor concentration, and increased irritability are also significant markers. My cardiologist friend, for example, attributed these to his busy life, when in reality they were direct consequences of his severe sleep apnea. Your partner's observations are invaluable here. If they consistently complain about your snoring or notice pauses in your breathing, please take it seriously. Other subtle signs can include restless legs during sleep, tooth grinding, bruxism, and unexplained mood swings. So, how do you get a definitive diagnosis? A sleep study is the gold standard. While traditional sleep labs can feel inconvenient with multiple wires and an unfamiliar environment, many facilities now offer comfortable at-home sleep studies using portable monitoring devices. These devices can track crucial metrics like oxygen saturation and breathing patterns throughout the night. Moreover, personal health trackers like Oura Rings or Whoop bands can offer preliminary insights into oxygen fluctuations during sleep, often highlighting potential issues that warrant further investigation. I recently had a patient, a very energetic woman, whose device initially didn't flag concerns. However, a specialized oxygen tracker revealed alarming drops in her oxygen saturation, leading to a formal sleep study and diagnosis. While these personal devices are not diagnostic, they can certainly serve as excellent screening tools, prompting necessary medical evaluation. But often the clearest indicator remains your partner's honest observation. When it comes to treatment, the traditional An often gold standard option is continuous positive airway pressure, or CPAP. This machine delivers a consistent stream of pressurized air through a mask or nasal plugs, keeping your airway open throughout the night. A sleep study typically involves a titration phase to determine the precise air pressure needed for you. While some individuals initially find the sensation of the mask and pressure challenging, modern CPAP devices offer various mask styles and comfort settings to improve adherence. The benefits of consistent CPAP use are well documented. It effectively reduces apneic episodes, can lower blood pressure, and significantly improves daytime energy and cognitive function. It's safe overall and proven to reduce cardiovascular risk. However, compliance is key. The device needs to be used consistently and kept clean. Many portable models are now available, making travel more convenient. Beyond CPAP, numerous other approaches exist. As I mentioned, lifestyle modifications such as dietary changes for weight loss, avoiding alcohol and sedatives before bed, and conscious efforts to sleep on your side can dramatically improve symptoms for many. Even simple techniques like mouth taping, which encourages nasal breathing, can be helpful in mild cases. Dental devices, custom-made by dentists, can position the lower jaw slightly forward to prevent airway collapse. In more extreme cases of anatomical obstruction, surgical interventions, such as addressing enlarged tonsils or adenoids, might be considered, though these are typically explored after less invasive options. You've likely seen commercials for newer, high-tech solutions like the Inspire implant, often portrayed by individuals happily discarding their CPAP masks. This FDA-approved device is essentially an implantable nerve stimulator. It works by electrically stimulating the hypoglossal nerve, which controls tongue movement. As a former vascular surgeon, I'm intimately familiar with the hypoglossal nerve, as its preservation was critical during neck surgeries. Clever research revealed that gentle, periodic stimulation of this nerve can cause the tongue to contract and move forward, preventing it from falling back and obstructing the airway during sleep. A small sensor implanted under the skin in your chest detects your breathing pattern and sends mild electrical signals to the nerve as needed. The primary advantage is the elimination of a mask, improving quality of life for those who cannot tolerate CPAP. Evidence supports its effectiveness in significantly reducing apneic episodes and improving daytime sleepiness. However, like any medical intervention, there are considerations and limitations. The Inspire implant requires a surgical procedure and subsequent follow-up for programming and adjustment. It's not suitable for everyone. Strict FDA guidelines, including BMI requirements, limit its use to individuals with moderate to severe sleep apnea who have failed other therapies. The cost can also be substantial, and insurance coverage can vary, requiring careful verification. Furthermore, as with any implantable device, there are potential safety concerns, including risks of infection, discomfort, and the possibility of hardware malfunction. Despite these factors, the underlying principle actively managing tongue position is a valid approach for certain candidates. Ultimately, while advanced medical devices and procedures offer promising avenues, lifestyle modification often remains the foundational, most impactful strategy I encourage with my patients. Whether they are newly diagnosed or seeking alternatives to CPAP, optimizing their body's inherent capacity for health is paramount. This involves a comprehensive approach that extends beyond the immediate airway mechanics. Consider how sleep apnea is intricately linked to inflammation throughout the body. As chronic oxygen deprivation triggers inflammatory cascades, it profoundly impacts hormonal balance, everything from growth hormone secretion vital for repair to stress hormones like cortisol, further compounding fatigue and impacting metabolism. The continuous microarousals fundamentally degrade sleep quality, preventing deep restorative sleep necessary for cognitive function and emotional regulation. Over time, this systemic stress can compromise circulation, as the heart works harder to compensate for oxygen deficits, and it can even influence nutrient absorption by disrupting digestive processes and overall metabolic efficiency. Addressing sleep apnea effectively means recognizing health as a complex, interconnected system. It means taking consistent steps to support your body's intrinsic healing capabilities, including mindful dietary choices, stress management practices, and regular movement. These internal changes often precede visible improvements, and the journey requires consistency over intensity. Every individual's response will vary, but fostering a supportive internal environment through these holistic strategies can profoundly influence not just your breathing at night, but your overall vitality during the day. If you found this information insightful, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel for more discussions on optimizing your health. What's one health concern you're currently facing that you'd like us to explore in a future video? Share your thoughts in the comments below. This content is educational only and not medical advice. For persistent concerns, consult a qualified professional.